Luca,
What?
Mommy's about to have the baby. Are you ready to meet your new sister?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the hospital, okay?
I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, but we're gonna bring back a new baby. Amos, are you ready to meet the new baby? Yeah? Okay, I'll see you later, okay?
No.
Okay, bye-bye.
Daddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Daddy. It's a cat! Yeah, that's creamy.
Hello, reporting to you live from the birthing center. You'll never guess what happened. Maybe you will. Well, the time has come. Birth story for baby number 7. We did it. And by we, I mean I. I did it. And the funny part is, my husband was not here for it. So I am telling you and him the story of this girl's birth today. Feel free to ask questions, Mr. Kraft.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Spoiler alert, though, worked out. So, if you didn't know, we were really kind of hoping for an April birthday because in this large family, nobody shares a birth month. And we already had a March birthday. And if she was late, a week late, like basically all my kids have been, then we got it covered. But Mila wanted to do what she wanted to do. So,
Tell them if they're new to the channel.
if you're new to the channel,
Say a sentence better, family.
we're a family. I'm still recovering from a cold that I've literally had since December. So excuse me. We live in South Korea. We've been here for almost 10 years in June. And we have 7 kids now, and 6 of them were born in this country. And so we have had many different birth experiences. Hospitals, birthing centers, US, Asia, C-sections, vaginal births, medicated, unmedicated, successful and unsuccessful VBACs. We've done it all. So today I'm telling you about how this little girl came earthside. She is 2 hours shy of being a whole day old. My memory is the best it's gonna be. And again, this is a birth story, so if you don't like birthy things, it's probably not for you. So it's spring break, we're teachers, and we were thinking, we're just gonna chill, we're just gonna wait. Unlike all the other times where I'm like, pineapple, spicy food, curb walking, lunges, all the things. I'm like, we're just chilling because we wanted an April baby anyways. And I had Braxton Hicks contractions, but you know, nothing happened. Nothing came of them. March 29th, I woke up at 4 a.m. and had to pee. And I realized I was losing my mucus plug. Yes. And so I was like, oh, okay. But again, in birth, it's like it means something or it means nothing. So like, great. Went back to bed. At this point, I was 40 weeks and 4 days. My due date was March 25th. So I thought, you know what I should do? Pack a hospital bag. So at 11, I started packing a hospital bag and I started timing my contractions. And they were like every 5 minutes, every 8 minutes. A little inconsistent, but they did not stop. So I packed my suitcase, I took a little nap, and I had a friend that was coming back from a spring break trip, a spring break missions trip. We were supposed to catch up. So we had dinner planned at 5:30. For reference, my 3rd and 6th babies were vaginal deliveries. The first one was 80 plus hours and the second one was 100 plus hours. So of many of my skills, birthing children quickly has not been included. So we're like, we got time. And I'm like, I'm not gonna cancel this girl's dinner just to sit at home and labor. So I did what anyone would do, and I jumped on my scooter and I scooted across town to go hang out with my friends and labor. I know, it's a joke. So I get there and they're making fun of me. They're like, we're gonna have a baby. We're gonna have a baby tonight. You're gonna have this baby right here. I was like, guys, that's not how this works. Like, let's do it. You won't. And on the way, I did call Isaac and I was like, you know what? Just like let the nanny know, put her on standby. And worst case, if things do progress, like just meet me at the birthing center. So we're hanging out and they're coming every 5 minutes apart. and every 4 minutes apart, and then every 3 minutes apart. And then I'm getting up in between, like when a contraction hits, I'm like going to the other room and breathing and like lunging, squatting through them. They're getting harder to manage. I'm like, oh. I talked to my midwife my doula when I got there, and I told her like, yeah, been there, done that. I have slow labors. I'm sure we got time. Just letting you know. And then I was like, yeah, maybe we should go. So then I'm like, Isaac, maybe we should go. Maybe you should tell the nanny we should go. I'm telling my friends, yeah, I think I'm gonna go. And of course they're freaking out because I'm just gonna drive my scooter there. It's just like 15 minutes. Okay, hold on, pause please. Sorry, we're getting busted for not doing our homework. We have not been recording the peas and poops. But we also did get our delivery of our last meal for the day, which is pumpkin soup. Oh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. So, yeah, laboring in the car didn't sound great. Took the scooter, passed the house, realized, you know what, I should just keep going. Because the nanny, what are you doing? And Mila got bored. She wanted to go to sleep. I'm hangry. I should take a snack break. Hold, please. Okay, we're back. We're not better than ever. We feel like duty and we're tired. But we persevere for the sake of the story. So, get to the birthing center, okay? It's 8:45, roll up. Isaac is waiting at home for the nanny. I did have the foresight to take like 2 little baby videos to tell you that I was at the birthing center. So we'll put those here. Whoop. Okay, documenting for posterity. I just got to the birthing center. Contractions have picked up quickly. I don't think we're making it to April. It's 28th, 29th, it's the 29th. Praying it goes quickly. My baby's here soon. Boop, there you go. So we get here, it's me and this girl. Take my classic in front of the elevator pick. It can go here. Boop, boop. I have a big contraction and have to like breathe, stop and breathe. And then I go pee and then have another huge contraction. And I get back to this room. I know they're gonna wanna do the non-stress test. She didn't push it, but I was like, let's just do it now. Because she's like, oh, we can wait until you're settled. I was like, no. I don't wanna be like further in labor and having to lay here for the non-stress test.
Why didn't you just tell them not to do it?
Cause they wanna like check in on her. And that makes, it's good to like establish that she's okay.
She's fine.
So I do the non-stress test for like 10 minutes and I am holding my phone and I turn on my worship music and I'm like,
wait, when did we face? I'm sorry for asking so many questions.
okay, so this was like 9.
Okay.
And so then
That's about the time I FaceTime.
you FaceTime me at 9:15.
Okay.
And he's like, you want to talk to the kids? So I'd like finish the non-stress test and I was like laying down, which I've never chosen to lay down. So when I was done with the non-stress test, I thought that I would get up, but I was like, okay, actually like I'm kind of in a rhythm here. And I had my music. It was like this close to my face. Like just trying to be ready for every contraction. Oh, it's too soon. Even just thinking about it. Ooh. So I know that she's still, like my issue has always been engagement. She has to engage in my pelvis. And that's like always the hindrance to progression. And she had been kind of in my right hip. And so I lay on my left side and I ask for the peanut ball. So I lay on my left side and I'm laboring there through the contractions. And
how long did you do that?
maybe like 3, 4 contractions. And then I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. I really just needed to like pee. Which I had been drinking a lot of water. So I go to the toilet, and right then my doula showed up. So my doula goes in there with me, and like we're breathing, and like, okay, the toilet is called like the dilation station. Like it's supposed to be a good position. Your pelvic floor can relax. Like your body knows what to do.
Mine always relaxes on the toilet.
So, oh guys, it's too soon. I'm having like flashbacks.
Take your time.
In what?
I'm trying
Take your time in what?
to, I don't know. I was just trying to say you can slow down if you want to.
In what? Feel it more? Remember it more vividly? I just need to, my emotional support,
Smell her head,
baby.
smell her head.
Okay. Nope, it's not working. So I'm on the toilet, and I have maybe like 2 contractions, and I'm like still breathing. Before I went to the toilet, I was realizing my back is starting to hurt during contractions, which is good. And I'm getting nauseous, but I had just eaten. I was like, I knew I needed to eat. So literally before I drove here, I slammed a sandwich.
I took it and threw it on the ground.
And then I was starting to feel shaky, which in my head, I'm like, okay, I know these things mean I'm close, but also like, I just got here, like, okay, like, surely, like these all point to like, if I'm starting to feel like I can't do it, it means I'm almost there.
Does back pain mean that she's more engaged?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
yeah. So she's like pushing against my pelvis.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay. So I am on the toilet, and my legs are like shaking uncontrollably, and my contractions are hitting, and I am starting to lose control. And my doula is like trying to hold my hand, which I didn't really want to hold hands, but like she's really trying to like get me to like zone in. And she's like, breathe for baby, which is funny. I just did my doula certification, in case you're wondering. And this is like one of our phrases. And I'm like, but I was trying to stay like so low, like, oh. And then I would just like stop. And then she's like, breathe. But I was just stuck. My whole body was shaking. And I was like, moving.
What were you thinking in that moment?
I was just trying to make it through the contraction. It's like, I know, like I gotta ride the wave. And in those contractions, like in between the bed and the toilet, I was like picturing Mila being like, okay, Mom, are you ready? Are you ready, Mom? I really was. And I was like, okay, we can do it. We can do this. We're working together. And so there's also this phrase I had just heard that was like, longer, stronger, more effective. Like, okay, like, oh, when you're in that moment, the last thing you want is a longer, stronger,
More effective.
contraction. More effective, fine, but like longer and stronger, like, shoot, like, I'm just holding on for dear life and just like trying not to like lose my focus in the middle of a contraction. Like, if you've never had a baby, if you've never given birth unmedicated, you have to start breathing and you have to stay in it until the end. Otherwise, it's just like chaos in your body and like you're out of control. So I have like 2 contractions on the toilet, and then the third one, I realize I'm really like bearing down. And it took me a minute to realize I was pushing. And my doula didn't notice at first. And on the second contraction where I was pushing, I finished. And she was like, do you feel the need to push? I was like, yeah. And she's like, are you okay? Can I go get the midwife? And I'm like, okay. And then I was like kind of panicky and kind of scared because
You're by
like,
yourself?
yeah, she wasn't there. And I'm like, okay, like I really was like losing it during the contraction. Like even when she was right there, like in my face, holding my hand, like patting my leg. And at this point, I had like pulled my shorts off. I was just like sitting there. I still had like my underwear on. And she runs to get the midwife. And she comes back in and she's like pulling my underwear down. And I'm like kind of disoriented. And my contraction starts. And my midwife's there. And then I realized like I really like I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling her head. I'm realizing like I'm feeling her come down. And I'm like, I have to finish this. I cannot.
Did you, when Karen left the room to
Yeah.
get the midwife, did you have a contraction?
It started and they came right back in. They didn't miss a contraction.
Okay, that's good.
So they come back in and I'm like, that contraction has started. And I'm just like, and I can feel, and then my midwife is like trying to reach under me. And
were you cognizant when you could feel? Like, was that encouraging? Or were you just out of it?
I was like really out of my mind.
Focused?
I was really out of,
Was it like delirious or was it like hyper-focused?
no, it was like delirious. Like I knew it was happening, but I was like,
Was it
I was,
outside of body?
yeah, I was in a lot of pain and my body was shaking. It was so intense. And then I was just thinking like, I don't care that you're not here. I just like, I want this done. And then I can like hold her and like surprise you. And I'm like, I just have to do it.
You were
And
thinking
then,
about that?
yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
And I was like, remembering too, when I had Amos and the midwives came in, literally I gave birth to Amos right where I'm sitting right now.
That was wild.
And they had come in when I was pushing her, like, oh, slowly, worried about tearing. And I was like, don't care this time. Like, they didn't say anything. It was just my midwife and doula. And I'm just like pushing so hard in this one contraction. And I'm bearing down and I feel her come. And I'm bearing, and like, if you don't know, like, usually the head will go out and then it'll come back and it'll go down and come back up. Like, you know, maybe a few contractions and then like the next contraction, like the shoulders are born and then the baby comes out. No, I was just like, and then I realized like I had to stand up, like so that the midwife could get the baby. So, and I was surprised. I kept thinking that.
Was the toilet closed?
No, I was sitting.
So she was gonna like drop in the toilet?
I mean, theoretically, I was surprised though that like the midwife wasn't like freaking out or like she never said, "Oh, like you need to stand up." She like.
They're trained professionals.
I mean, I guess that's the idea.
You can always get her.
So I like stood up a little bit, enough for her to like get her hands in, and I pushed the last bit of energy that I had, and she came out, and they put her on my chest, and she was the cheesiest. Oh, bless. I would show you, but it's gross. Just meconium, and she's a week late, so like, just her whole face is just like covered. She's just covered in birth. And I wasn't even like immediately relieved, like a little bit,
Yeah.
but I was like out of it. I was sweating. Oh, and the last couple contractions, Karen, my doula, had been like wiping my forehead with like a towel. It was so intense. It was so intense, and I was just like, oh, like I was on another planet. Anyways, she came out, and it was just like a crime scene. She was so gross, and it was so fluids everywhere. And so I'm sitting on the toilet and right next to like the birthing tub, we can show you. And they're like, okay. I was like, where do you want me? Like, oh, you want to go get in the bed? And they're like trying to like wipe down my legs with baby wipes. And I'm like, can I get in the bath? Like, can I birth the placenta in the bathtub? And luckily my doula's like, yeah. Like, and then conveys the message like to my midwife, like, can she? And she's like, okay. So like, Yeah, so like they put me in the birthing tub, started to fill it up with water, and so like we're getting cleaned off a little bit. I'm starting to like come to a little bit. Still wasn't feeling amazing, and I never remembered having like pressure from the placenta. Like after I gave birth, I was just like, yeah, like amazing. Like after I came out of it, but I was in no pain. Like even thinking about like tearing or stitches, or I was just like, whatever.
You gave
Like
birth to the placenta when I was here.
yeah. So usually I'm just like holding my baby, and like whatever's happening down there, I'm like unaware of. So I'm in the tub, and I'm still like pretty uncomfortable, which I was surprised by. And so I'm like, but I'm still relieved and shocked, and relieved and shocked again. And then my doula's like, where's Isaac? I was like, he's coming.
Okay, so it looks like it's time, and I'm on my way. Say goodbye to the kids. Allie already went ahead of us. She's doing such a great job, and I just hope that she's okay. I think that her labor is progressing a little faster than some of the ones that she's had in the past, so we're just praying for that. Baby Mila, we're ready to meet you.
And she's like, do you want me to call him and tell him? And I was like, no, call him and see where he is. Because I was like, he's on his way. He's on his way. And so I was like, hold on, you have to. Oh, and before I got off the toilet, I was like, take videos, take pictures. Because I told her that beforehand, like, you know, if she's available and doesn't have something to do, like, I would love pictures. But she was very not available. She said that was literally the closest I've ever come to having to catch a baby myself. So afterwards, that's when we got pictures of my cheesy baby and me on the toilet. So I got in, she calls Isaac, and he's like, oh, I'm U-turning right in front of the building. Okay, so I was like, you have the video, like, this surprise. So I was sitting in the birthing tub, holding my baby, and Isaac walks in, and we'll have to put the clip here. I'm sorry. She was ready to come. She's such a daughter. She is so good. You said every break was different, huh? And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, I just, I mean, honestly, I didn't care that he wasn't there. He has spent days and days and days with me in labor, and it's just like him trying to help me, and I'm trying to communicate how he can be helpful, and it's just hard on all of us. It's just hard. So like, I did not care that he wasn't there. I knew he was coming. I knew he'd be surprised. I knew that the biggest relief for both of us would be a baby getting here safe and healthy. And so
I did have strong suspicions when Karen called.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Because she said, she didn't just ask me where I was. Her voice was like very flat.
Yeah, it was like
firm.
Calm.
Yeah, it was like reassuring, but like definitely like very firm.
Yeah.
And she ended, I was like, what is like something happening? And she said, you need to get here.
Yeah.
And so when she said you need to get here,
That's like scary though.
No, I didn't think that anything was wrong.
Okay, good.
I mean, I legitimately didn't. I just thought that, like, the baby was coming.
Well,
you know, in hindsight, maybe I should have been more worried.
No, I mean, it was just, like, crazy time, so. Anyways, he comes in and
I
like,
still was super surprised. I'm sorry. I was still very surprised.
he comes in and is like shocked and like hugging me and like, then yeah, we're like sitting there and still getting cleaned up, and they're really worried about the baby being cold. So we're like cuddling her and filling up the tub with some more warm water. Little girl. Little girl. Mommy being too loud. And I was still like really uncomfortable, which I was very surprised by. And so she's like, do you want us to like try to help you birth the placenta? I was like, yeah, I think so. Like maybe they're like, we can like try and tug on it and just see if it will come like easily. So anyways, they did that. And it was the only time I ever remember like pushing the placenta out. I mean, the other times I've been on the bed to birth the placenta. First time I gave birth on a birthing stool and then birthed on the placenta on the bed. Second time I birthed in a runner's lunge at the end of this bed and then birthed the placenta on the bed. Yeah, so it was the first.
I just remember it just coming out.
Yeah. Anyways, so she's like, are you ready to push? And I was like, what's happening? Anyways, I pushed and I really did feel like relief after that, which I don't know if it's just the way it was sitting. I don't know. Anyways, so then we just hung out in the tub and I was still actually like a little like crampy and uncomfortable, but I was still just like kind of like euphoric too.
You were like laughing.
Yeah, I was just like so shocked, like just like laughing. And then my doctor came in and I gave him a hard time for being late. And then we had a student midwife who was helping, but she lives like an hour away. So we're sitting there and I'm like, I just feel so bad. Like, oh, and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about her. But she showed up and gave me a huge hug. It was like, I was praying for you. Like, I knew, like, you really were like nervous about how long it would be and all that. And anyways, so we're all hanging out in the bathroom and we're just like shocked and laughing and recounting the craziness. And they kind of give us a minute and then I was ready to get out and Isaac he hadn't brought the bags in. So I was like, go get the bags so I can get some like clothes on or something. And they wanted me to give the baby to Isaac and get out. And I was like, I really want to keep her. Like, can I keep her with me? And they were very nervous about me getting out of the tub by myself and holding her. I was like, I got this. They were afraid I'm like stand up and pass out.
Scooting during contractions, yes. Standing up in a bathtub. No.
I mean,
I know it's different.
I mean, it's fair. Anyways, so we got out. Oh, and then I really wanted to rinse off too. And then she had pooped on me. And anyways, I was so glad before I like even got in the bed, I could like get cleaned up a little bit. And then what? And then what do we do?
I held her.
After, you came in here. No, you came in here.
I went to get the bags.
And cut the cord.
You cut the cord with me.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I held the clamp. You cut the cord.
I don't remember.
This was yesterday. This was literally less than 24 hours ago.
There we go.
Okay.
All done. You're free.
Cut the cord.
Right after that is when I held her.
We did like her little checks. We found out how much she weighed. She was 8 pounds, 7 ounces, 19 and a half inches long, 40 weeks and 4 days, which is when her biggest 2 brothers were born. On March 29th, which we have J29s, all of them, January, June, and July. And we have a March. So we got some crossover there. Now we have a March 29. And from arriving at the birth center to holding her was an hour and 15 minutes of the craziest. I had affirmation cards. I had 2 sets of birth affirmation cards. I had birth posters and smelly good spray and twinkle lights and conversation cards and playlists and photo albums. All like, guys, we were so ready to like camp out here. And it's the first labor I've ever had that was contained in one day. It was just one day. Anyways, she's here. So this is Mila Lois. Mila como milagros. Milagro means miracle in Spanish and Italian. And she is. Even more so now. It's prophetic. And Lois, after her amazing grandmother that is in my grandmother. Yeah, great grandma. Betty Lois, who you'll meet one day in heaven. And now we're just in the fog. We're in the fog. And we have a lot of kids at home ready to hold her. And I better just like soak it in because I'm gonna have to fight for this little nugget. That's it. That's our story. And what did I leave out, Mr. Kraft? Oh, she hasn't cried. She's done that. What we realized today, we've never heard her cry.
Oh, she cried a little bit yesterday.
She didn't cry when she... No, she didn't cry when she got her shot. No, she cried when she got her heel prick.
Oh, whatever.
But, like, barely.
Yeah.
But, like...
Very little.
A whole day she hasn't cried. She'll be like, ee. You're gonna find your voice. I know you will. I know you will. So that's us. If you have any questions, let us know. That wasn't very short. Thanks for bearing with our breaks, our snack breaks, and whatnot. Tonight, we need some rest. Last night, I slept from 4 to 4:45, and then like 5 to 6, and then took a 2-hour nap, and that was it. And we're gonna need a little bit more of that. Achoo. Oh goodness. Okay, we're gonna try and go eat some dinner, some Mila dinner, and go to bed. Signing off. Maybe the last Kraft birth story ever. Thanks for following.
Bye-bye.
Say like and subscribe.